right next to the narrow, but I'll be here forever. I'm in the Sinatra, and since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Get it up me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem, all of my Dominican condos right there on Broadway. Pull me back to that McDonald's, took me to my stash spot.
I got an entire state of mind. Look at that. I wasn't serious. Thank you. All right. I don't think any of you have ever seen me do comedy, which is awesome. I've told all these jokes before. I've just kind of refined them for a night like tonight. Mike Shields has seen me go up, but he's probably drank all those jokes out of his memory, so that helps. It's nice. Have you ever tried to tell somebody they're an alcoholic when they haven't admitted it to themselves yet? Like you assume they have and you just kind of mention it in conversation? It's really awkward. I've had it before where I'm just like, oh yeah, I hate going to these open mics and I don't have any money because I can't have a beer, and I sit there and watch the comics at the bar. But I'm sure you know what that's like. You're an alcoholic. And they're like, what the, why would you fucking say something like that, man? And I'm like, because we met for breakfast and you're chasing your pancakes with scotch. So I figured you knew. You're drinking it out of a Camelback. I don't even think that's what that's made for. Figured you're aware. I brought some notes. I'm going to try not to refer to them too often because it totally screws me up and then I have no good segues. Or I'll just mention that I'm looking at my notes every time. That'll work. I moved to Vegas just less than a year ago. And I got a lot of support from my family, which was nice, especially from my dad. My dad actually gave me a lot more support than I expected because he was like, you're 24, you're miserable where you are, and if you don't get out of there, you're just going to get stagnant. You're at that age where you can quit your job and kind of move somewhere else, try something new, and if it doesn't work, you've got backup plans. And he's like, you can always move in with me, and I'll give you a job here in Alabama. And I thought, that's awesome. Because nothing will motivate you to get your shit together and succeed like knowing your backup plan is Alabama. And I'm not just saying that to jump on the bandwagon of people who hate that shitty part of the country. I was in this town that my dad lives in. He tried to give me a tour of the place, and he was trying to make it look as nice as it was, but they had like a Home Depot and a McDonald's, and that was it. And then he couldn't wrap his head around the fact that they didn't have a donut shop in the town. He's like, I gotta drive 40 minutes to get donuts here, Josh. The donut shop is 35 miles from here. And I was like, really? That's weird. You can walk a block in any direction and get your banjo restrung and buy a gun, but you can't get donuts. That's crazy. And he's like, yeah, I bet I'd be really successful if I opened a donut shop. I bet I could open one and make a lot of money. I wonder why no one's ever thought of that before. And I said, well, Dad, anyone who was smart enough to think about opening a donut shop and succeeding was also smart enough to just fucking leave. Like, they got out of Alabama. They're like, oh, I could totally open a donut shop, make lots of money, buy a home, and settle down here now. What am I saying? Oh my God, kids, pack your shit. We're going to Baltimore. This is no more. Back to the notes. No, I heard my neighbors having sex the other day. That's weird, right? Some people have heard it recently, I'm guessing. This happens on a semi-regular basis, and it is kind of awkward having to ask them to move closer to the wall so I can finish jerking off to it. Just me? No? Alright. I'm kidding. I jerk off to porn, like most men. I do enjoy porn. My girlfriend and I were talking about that recently. It was crazy because she pointed something out online. She's like, oh, look at that. It's some nice girl stuff. I bet you'd love that. And she didn't understand. I'm like, no, a lot of guys I know don't actually like the girl-on-girl stuff. It's exceptionally boring. And it's because guys, when they like to watch porn, it's because they like to imagine themselves doing that to the girl. And when you're seeing a girl-on-girl porno, you're just like, oh yeah, baby, you want none of this, do you? You're doing just fine without me. All right, I'll leave you two alone, thank you. Change. But then you watch the guy-on-girl stuff and you're like, oh yeah, that's totally how I'd be fucking her. If I had like 4 more inches and 6-pack abs, fuck my life. Make you feel like an asshole. But you like to see a guy in porno, you don't like to see the whole guy. Like you just want to know that there's a guy in the room, like penis and a little bit of torso to know that he's human. That's all you need. But for some reason they keep cutting to like the entire dude every once in a while. And they've been doing it for decades. They haven't figured it out yet that none of us really give a shit what he looks like. Like, I don't care if he's enjoying it. Like, that's not my idea. And because it happens, like if you've ever been like, guys, you've done this, where you're jerking off and then it cuts to the dude's face and then you bust and you're staring at him and it's just really awkward. You're like, oh fuck, you can't look yourself in the mirror for 6 days. You start having like post-traumatic Vietnam flashbacks. It's rough. That's why I started using like the A to B function on DVD players. Have you guys taken advantage of this yet? I know a lot of people who don't even know what this does. It's a little button on your remote, and you press it once, and it sets a flag for A on the DVD. And you press it again, and it sets the B point. And then it just loops from A to B over and over again, so you can watch just that segment of the movie. And it was obviously created by a porn enthusiast for porn enthusiasts. Like, there's only 3 reasons you could really use this button. One is because Katie Holmes shows her tits in The Gift, and that's the only part of that movie worth watching. And it's like 3 seconds long, but A to B makes it glorious. And then pretty much anytime Chuck Norris or Jean-Claude Van Damme roundhouse kicks a guy in the face, that's really fun to watch over and over again. And then porn, because you just, like, you get the different positions. Like, I'm not a fan of the girl on top reverse cowgirl, like when they're on the stairs, because then you just see the balls bounce. It's so awkward. Or like when they're doggy style, because you don't really see any of the goods, and then her fake boobs are hanging with the lines, and the way the implants are, it's disgusting. I don't like that. So you gotta get like the right position where everything's opened up, it looks really good, and it only lasts maybe 2 to 3 minutes tops, so you gotta use that function. It's nice. But I've got plenty of masturbation jokes all night, so you guys better get comfortable. I hope everyone got sour cream on their nachos tonight. But no, I did have a scare recently. I'll try not to talk too in depth about this because it is kind of disgusting. But I got an ingrown hair in a place where you don't want to get an ingrown hair. Like, most guys get them on their neck or something from shaving, and we're used to it, and I know the girls have gotten them down there. Because I watched porn on Blu-ray the other day, and that's unfucking necessary. Don't make that mistake. But I got the ingrown hair, and you should know what it is right off the bat, but you immediately fear the worst because of the location. You're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't even know what the symptoms for herpes or syphilis or chlamydia are. Is this AIDS? Is my dick gonna look like Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia? What's happening to my body right now? And so you're on WebMD, just like looking up symptoms. And WebMD, for some reason, does heart attacks, cancer, AIDS. Those are like the 3 things everything boils down to for them. So I'm like typing in everything. I'm like, well, maybe it's just this. I'm like, nope, it's cancer of the AIDS. And I'm like, oh, fucking sweet. And then you start going through like that list of all the people you've slept with recently that could possibly be responsible for this. And you're like, who did I get this from? Like, who? Oh, it's that redhead at the keg party. 2 Keystone Lights, and she was giving me a hand job in the broom closet. I should have known she was filthy. And why didn't I wrap it up? God damn it. But I don't have to worry about that anymore. I got an awesome girlfriend. She's actually recording this right now because I put all my comedy on YouTube so that my family back home can watch it and leave comments and let me know how everything's going. They say stuff like, you know, keep it up, and shut up, fag, kill yourself. My mom's a mean drunk. That's just on the weekends. But in order to keep from the ingrown hair thing from happening, I started using lotion whenever I'm alone, which is something everyone should do because it's cheap. You can get like some nice fragrance-free aloe vera store brand shit for cheap, and it works. But every once in a while I will upgrade, like if I know I've got a special occasion coming up, like if I've got tomorrow off from work and my girlfriend also has the day off, I'll upgrade to like some Bath & Body Works lotion. Just so, like, when she goes down on me the next day, she gets a little taste of, like, that coconut lime verbena or raspberry vanilla, whatever it is. It's like a little treat for her, so we both win. And then she'll get me back sometimes, like, she'll shave down there and then douche with A1. It's so delicious. Love it. I've got plenty. Is Mike gonna give me a light? Because I've got, like, I'm only halfway through my set. Am I okay? Cool. All right. Mike says I can stay up here, so you guys are stuck with me. Nice. Have you ever texted an ex-girlfriend just to see if they still have your number in their phone? I do that sometimes. I'm just like, hey, what was that sushi place we ate at that had the really good California rolls? And then it's like playing roulette with your ego. Like you either get back oh, it was raw at the Fashion Show Mall. And you're like, oh, that's right, it was. Awesome. Yay. Or you get, who is this? And you're like, oh, you cunt. Like, we broke up 6 months ago. No one manages their contacts like that. You really wanted me out of your life that bad. Oh, terrible. Have you guys noticed how many Asian tourists we have in Vegas? I've got like all kinds of stuff about tourists that I like to talk about. And the one thing I've noticed since I moved here, because I thought it was just the times that I came on vacation was a high season for them too, but now that I've lived here for almost a year, I've realized they're always here. And it's great, because they're usually nice, like they're very polite, they bring lots of money, and they love it here. And I don't really know why, there's so many of them. I can't even put a number on it. I'm sure they can, they're good at that, right? But they walk exactly like they drive, which drives me crazy. Like the old ones always just like kind of wander into your path, and just stop suddenly to take pictures of shit that doesn't matter. Like they'll stop right between Paris and Planet Hollywood because this curb is exceptionally red, and they just start snapping photos. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I think it's the lights on the strip that do it. That's my theory as to why they all like it here, because it does look like a giant Dance Dance Revolution game out there. And that's what they flock to, from my experience. Who else can I offend tonight? No, I do like them better than most of the tourists, though. I work right off the strip, so I get a lot of assholes in there. And I had one guy come in the other day, and he got really rude with me because I wouldn't give him change for a 20. He was like, "Can you break this for me?" And I'm like, "No, dude, I can't make change here." He's like, "Fuck it, really, dude?" And I go, "You're in a casino. There's machines everywhere that give you change. There's a room full of people that get paid really well to give you change. What are you, fucking stupid? Like, you're gonna get rude with me?" And then I get other guys in there, like this guy came up to me the other day, wasted, and he's like, "Fucking Vegas, man. I bet you get so much pussy working here." I was like, I sell t-shirts, dipshit. Like, what? How much trim do you pull managing Blockbuster or whatever the fuck you do back home in Boise? Like, it's not that much different. Just because we live in Vegas, it's not like the waiter at Denny's is all, "Oh, hey, can I get you guys some coffee? Or maybe you can just suck on this dick." And the girls are like, "Oh, well, it is Vegas. Small." Doesn't happen. I wish it did. It doesn't happen like that. Not that easy. But, oh yeah. I didn't really have a segue for this one, but now I'm going to kind of dip into religion, so if you're easily offended, have at it. I personally am an atheist. I try not to discuss it too much because I don't like to argue with people, and a lot of people like to argue with me about it. But my main concerns with being an atheist is I do have to own up to my own shit all the time, which really bugs me. Like, I have to accept responsibility for all my own actions. And I've noticed that a lot of like God-fearing Christians tend to just say, "Well, I did what I could, it's in God's hands now." And I'm like, that's lazy. Like, just because you've decided to give up, and you don't want to be held accountable for when things don't go according to your plan, you've decided to relinquish responsibility to your imaginary friend in the sky? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I turned in a resume the other day, and I was just going to leave it in God's hands. But then I decided to call them back and like proactively ask if they had gotten it. And I got an interview and I got a job. It was awesome. I'm really glad I didn't leave that one in God's hands, honestly. Or they'll say like it's all part of God's plan. Or they get that, like that's their excuse for when shit doesn't go right. They're like, "Oh yeah, I didn't get that promotion. I guess God just has a better plan for me." I'm like, "No, you didn't get that promotion because you're an idiot. Like you wear tap-out shirts on Casual Friday and you high-five everybody. And you keep misusing the word literally. You didn't get that promotion because somebody else is more qualified than you." It's obvious. I don't know, I've never had to go to the notes this often. You guys make me nervous, I don't know. I do have a problem with the religious people though, because with the ones that hate the gays, because I fucking love gay people so much. Because they're just so nice, and they're fashionable, and they smell good. And they're usually happy people, and even if they're not happy, then they're just sassy, and that's kind of adorable. I love it. And the people who like say that they choose to be gay boggles my mind, because I know a lot of them that definitely would not have chosen that if they had the choice. And I personally know that in the past, I would have chosen to be gay if I was given the option, because I lived with my best friend for a year. We rented a house together, and all we did was like wake up, have breakfast, play Xbox, drink beer, watch horror movies. If I was working, he'd bring home a pizza, something like that. It was fantastic. And if I could choose to be okay with sucking his dick every once in a while, I totally would be living in that house right now, doing the exact same thing, just drinking beer, watching horror movies, and we just blow each other a couple times a week. But I couldn't bring myself to do that because I just love women too much. And can you blame me? Like, women are, am I right? Women are amazing. Inside and out, every single one of them. They're so fantastic. Ladies, don't ever let anyone tell you anything otherwise. You are fantastic inside and out. And guys cannot understand. We cannot wrap our heads around why you let us do to you what you let us do to you. Seriously, like, you can say you love sex just as much as we do. You can say we're sexy and hot and everything like that, but I picture my hairy, sweaty torso just writhing around on top of your gorgeous, curvaceous body, and you are not winning in that situation at all. You do not come out on top. And just know that no matter how, like, badass and strong and mature a guy tries to be, when he's like, oh yeah, baby, you look so hot right now, when he's having sex with you, there's the voice of a 15-year-old in the back of his head just going, this is fucking awesome! Oh my god, she's so hot! She's so hot and she's naked, and I'm here. Yes! Alright, my name is Joshua Levesque. Thank you.
Give it up again for Josh Levesque, ladies and gentlemen.
I told you he was good, didn't I?